Hi, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing baby names I love but won't be using. Uh, I still haven't decided if I'm going to share a baby girl's name when she's born, but none of these names, well, I shouldn't say none of them, because if I had another girl, I have no idea what I would name her. If we had a boy, I know exactly what his name would be, what his middle names would be, because we had that picked pretty early on in my pregnancy before I found out what I was having. But yeah, we'll get started. So I have 7 boy names and 7 girl names. I was trying to keep it the same, although I don't know if it's like the fact that I'm so in love with the names that we did pick that I feel like, Belle, stop licking my eye mask. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know if it's that I'm so in love with the names that we did pick that, like, I don't feel like I like any of these or, like, would use any of them. I don't know, but I know for a fact that I have really liked all of these names and I would be okay with using them, but it's just the fact that the names that we picked for a boy and then for our daughter, like, I love those names so much that I don't know if it's just, like, putting blinders on and I feel that I don't like them as much anymore. But anyways, we'll get started. So we'll start with the boy names. The first... Oh, what? Sorry, my dogs have been acting so weird today, so, like, apologies. Anyways, the first boy name is Lucas. I do really like this name. I think it's cute. At one point, like, long before we had gotten pregnant, we were just always kind of the couple that, like, would discuss kids and, like, baby names, and so there were a couple of names throughout our relationship that we were like, oh yeah, if we had a kid, this is definitely going to be it. But obviously we weren't having kids then. Even when we were, like, first dating, we would discuss baby names, and we were like 15 and 17 and we were not having kids anytime soon. I don't know if that's normal, but that's what we did. But yeah, Lucas was a name that we liked kind of more recently, like within the past year or two of our relationship. And it's a really cute name. I do like it, but I feel like it's just too common, which is funny because the boy name that we really love, like, when I first heard it, it wasn't very common, but now it's pretty common, but I love it so much that I'm, like, okay with it. Again, if we were to have a boy. But I do prefer more unique names, like names that you don't always hear all the time. And I feel that Lucas is pretty common. Yeah, so I think that's probably the only reason why I wouldn't use it. Otherwise, I do really like it. But at one point we were like, oh yeah, if we have a boy, it's gonna be Lucas. And if we had a boy now, I know exactly what his name would be. I don't think I'll ever deviate from that name, which kind of makes me sad that I'm like, oh, we're only gonna have one kid. So if I could 100% guarantee that if we had a second kid, it would be a boy, then I would maybe consider, but there's always that possibility that it's a girl, unless you pay for the, like, genetic or gender preference. I don't know how to explain that, but I know you can pay a lot of money to, like, have it be more in favor of one gender or the other, but that's just not realistic to me. But yeah, if we were to have a boy, I know what his name would be, and it would not be Lucas. And then going to girls, the name that we kind of always liked around the same point as Lucas was Sky. I really like Sky. I don't know if I would just spell it S-K-Y or S-K-Y-E, because I personally hate that my parents spelled my name super, like, unique, because Sierra is commonly spelled with 2 R's, and so everyone spells my name wrong. It's spelled wrong on certificates that I've received. It's spelled wrong on pretty much everything. Which it, I mean, it is what it is. So I don't know if I would do S-K-Y-E, but I feel like that is more common for, like, naming your kid. But we would always be like, oh yeah, Sky and Lucas, they're gonna be our future kids. And so that name was definitely on the list when we got pregnant. I should probably, because it'll make more sense if I explain this. So basically, when we found out that I was pregnant, I think like in the first week or so that we found out, we were laying in bed and we were just like going through like a bunch of baby name lists and just adding names randomly. It was basically like, as long as you don't hate the name, like the other person hated the name, we'll add it. And if you do like that name, then it's fine. And so basically by the end we had about 10 names for each, but we both had like front runners. And the boy name specifically that we picked that like right away. Like I think we had like one conversation about it. The girl name, that was like, we weren't arguing about it or anything, but we definitely had differing opinions. But then we obviously came to a conclusion and we picked our daughter's name. And we finally just picked her second middle name. So she now has a full name all picked out. Whereas, like I said, for the boy name that we liked, we had already picked out first, middle names, both honoring my side and his side of the family. And then obviously his last name was going to be my fiance's last name because I have two last names. And I did not want to have to do 3 last names for my baby because I already hate having 2 last names. I cannot imagine what having 3 last names would be like. And to me, it's not that big a deal that I don't have the same last name as my baby, or I won't have the same last name as her. It's just kind of is what it is. Yeah, I got super off track there. But anyways, what I was trying to say is we were just like adding names pretty like randomly, and then we narrowed it down further. So Sky was one of the ones that we did really like. And I don't know, like, I feel like if I had a second kid and it was a girl, I have literally no idea what I would name her. Like, all of these names I like, but I don't know if they're the right name. Like, I mean, I guess that's kind of the whole point of the video, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard to pick a name for your baby because you want to pick one that you like and you feel like you'll like forever, but it's just so hard. So I don't know if I would actually use Sky, but it is a really pretty name. If someone was like, oh yeah, I'm naming my baby Sky, I'd be like, that's adorable. I love that. I mean, I'm not very picky with other people's names. I feel like people put a lot of time and effort into choosing a name for their baby, so even if I don't like it personally, I'm not going to be like, oh my god, that is the worst baby name ever. Why would you want to name your child that? Or just because like they took time and effort into picking a name, so I'm not going to be rude about it. But yeah, so Sky is the first one for girls that I will mention. The next one for boys, this actually wasn't even on our list, and I don't remember why I started thinking about it recently, but it was a name I really liked when I was a kid for my future kids. Again, I've always been obsessed with kids and picking my future children's names. Obviously, it's changed 18 million times throughout my life because things have changed, but this name is Ellis. I think that Ellis is very cute. I really do like that name. I don't know, like, again, I feel like it's just the fact that the boy name that we have I love so much that it's like I can't imagine using any other name. So I don't know if that's why I wouldn't use it, or if there's like more to it, because I just don't really think about it, because A, we're having a girl, and B, if we were having a boy, his name is already picked, but we're having a girl, so I don't really have to think about it too much. But I do really like the name Ellis. I think it's cute, it's simple, it's short, but yeah, I don't know why I wouldn't use it, but it's just not one I would use. Unless I, for some weird reason, had like 3 kids and the next 2 were both boys, which I'm never having 3 kids, so no way. This pregnancy has been too rough to go through it another 2 times. I'm not even... Everyone keeps telling me, they're like, oh, you'll change your mind. Like, maybe I will. I don't know, prove me wrong, but for the most part, I'm like, I'm done. Like, my pregnancy was so terrible that I literally am like, one and done. I got a girl. That's what I wanted. Bam. Finished. Sorry, I keep bouncing back and forth. This is pregnancy brain. You just like go 18 miles an hour in different directions, and then you change directions and you change everything. So the next name that I have for girls is Emma, which I know I mentioned that I like unique names, so I think that's probably the main reason why I wouldn't use Emma, is just that it's very common. But yeah, I do really like it. I think it's cute and simple. I like short names, like names that are like 4 or 5 letters or less. Our daughter's name is 5 letters, and the name that we did pick for a boy was 3 letters. So, and yeah, for the most part, most of the names on this list are under 5 letters. There are a couple that have more than 5, but Emma I think is really cute, and then you can call her like M or Emmy, stuff like that. I think that's really cute. But I don't think I would use it just because it is so common. But I'm like, I don't think I would ever actually use that. And then the next name for a boy is Ashton. So I do really like this name. I think it's cute. I think all of these are cute. That's kind of the whole point of the video. I just realized I said cute like 1,800 times. I'm very sorry. But Ashton is a nice name. I think it's cool. I like that it's like relating to nature, and you can obviously call them like Ash and stuff like that. I don't really like Asher. I feel like that's too harsh. But Ashton I think is really cute. I feel like the main reason why I wouldn't use this is just that, again, there's the boy name that I like so much that I feel like it would not replace it. It's not quite the right vibe, but it is a very cute name. I do like it. If someone said they were having a boy and they're naming it Ashton, I would be like, oh my gosh, that's adorable. And yeah, I'm not really sure why else I wouldn't use it, but that's why. And then the next name for a girl is Luna, which is getting very popular as well now. I feel like everyone is naming their baby Luna. And this is one that actually my fiance and I really liked when we were like first dating. Like we always said, oh, our daughter will be Luna. And I do really like that name, but I feel like I definitely didn't like it as much as he did, which is fine. I mean, there's gonna be times like that in parenting and stuff like that, like certain things, but Luna definitely is a cute name. I like that it's short, but it definitely is becoming way too common. Like his best friend, they're currently expecting and they want to name their baby Luna if it's a girl. One of our old coworkers named her baby Luna. I feel like everyone is naming their baby Luna. So I don't know, I wouldn't want her to be like 1 in 100 Lunas. So, but I do really like it. I think it's cute, but again, just because other people are naming their babies that and it's becoming more common, that's why we didn't really pick it. But it's definitely a very cute name. Alright, now the next one for boys is Clay. I do really like this name. I don't know. It's kind of just too simple. I don't know if that makes any sense because I just said I liked short, simple names, but Clay is just too short. Like it's only, I don't know how to describe it. It's only 1 syllable. Maybe that's my issue, but then the other boy name we really like is only 1 syllable, so I don't know what my problem with it is. But I do really like Clay. I actually, for like a very long time, was like, oh, I'm gonna have 4 kids and they're gonna be named after the 4 elements. And Clay was the one for Earth, obviously. And, yeah, I don't want 4 kids. I don't even think I really wanted 4 kids back then, but it was just like a cute little name theme. And I don't actually think that I would use Clay though. Again, just because the boy name that we picked I really love. But I truthfully, like, I don't know, it's just so weird to even think about boy names because A, we're having a girl, B, I don't think we're gonna have a second kid, and C, even if we did and it was a boy, his name is already picked. So like, as much as I do like all of these, I just know for a fact that I would never be like, oh yeah, my son Clay, because he doesn't exist and he's never going to. Sorry, Clay. Okay, the next one for a girl is Aria. And this one I actually really, really liked. It was definitely like my top name for a little bit, but there are a couple of reasons why we're not using it, but I did definitely like it a lot more than my fiance anyways. Um, but Aria I wouldn't use just because my cousin has a dog named Aria, my best friend. He said if he wants to have kids and it's a girl, he wants to name her Aria. Like a couple other reasons, not really major ones, but I feel like that's why we didn't pick Aria. But I do really love the name Aria. I've liked it for a really long time. I definitely, like, if you had asked me 4 years ago what I would name my first daughter, it would be Aria. And I still do really like that name, but for those reasons, that's why we didn't pick it. Also, my fiance didn't like it quite as much as I did, but he also didn't like the name that we picked for our daughter originally. Like, the first time I told him that name, he was like, no, that's stupid, I hate that. And then like 3 days later, we talked about it again. He was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I love that name. And now he's like trying to convince me that he picked the name out. I'm like, no, 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 no. I picked the name out. I've liked this name for about like 5 years. You didn't even know that it was a name, and when you first heard it, you thought it was stupid. So don't try to convince me that you picked our daughter's name. I picked our daughter's name. I mean, collectively we both picked it, but you know what I mean. So yeah, Aria, that's one that I definitely really did like, and if it wasn't for those reasons, I feel like I would definitely name her Aria, because I do like the name Aria more than the name that we have picked, but also I feel like the name that we picked fits our baby really well, so I'm not like upset about it or anything. Alright, and then the next boy name is Blake. And as soon as I said that, I just feel like I liked it less. I don't know if that makes any sense, but Blake is probably like one of the lower ones in my list. So I do think it's cute. I would, like, I don't know, like, sometimes I hear people in these videos saying, like, oh, if I had 10 kids, I would definitely use this name. And, like, maybe if I had 10 kids, I'd eventually get to Blake, but I don't really know. I don't like it as much as I remember. No offense to any people named Blake, but I just feel like it's way not my vibe. You can see his little ear there. But I do still think it's a nice name. I just don't think that I would ever use it. And then the next one for a girl is Autumn. And this is like the only name that I feel like if we had another girl, I would use. But then again, I feel like to name your baby like after a season, they should be born in that season. So she would have to be born in like October, November, September-ish time. Obviously you can name them outside of that season, like it's not a big deal, but I just feel like for me personally, I think you should be born in that season to be named after that season. So Autumn is like the only name I could maybe consider for a second girl, but again, I don't think we're gonna have any more kids. But Autumn's really cute. I really do like it. I like that it's simple. It's still pretty common, but I feel like it's not as common as some other names that I've mentioned. So that's why there's Autumn. And then the next one for a boy is Sage. I think Sage is really cute. I do really like it. I like that it's simple. I feel like I go back and forth because Clay was too simple, and Sage is the same amount of letters and syllables, but Sage is just perfect for simpleness. So I don't know. I don't know what I like, I guess, but Sage is really cute. I like that it's simple, it's short. Again, I don't think I would use it, but it's a cute name. It was definitely on our list. And And then the next one for girls, it's kind of two names, but they're very similar, so that's why I have them together. So it's Lila or Layla. I could never decide which one I liked more, because like 1 week I'd be like, oh yeah, I definitely like Lila more, and then the next be, oh, I definitely like Layla more. So I don't know which one I would actually end up using. Currently, it's more towards Layla, but again, I don't actually think I'd ever use that name. Maybe, who knows? But I do think that they're really cute, both Lila and Layla. And yeah, that's all I really have for those. And then the last two names, one for boy, one for girl, I picked from like names that I really liked during my childhood. Although Ellis was a name I really liked during childhood as well, but these ones are like the names from my childhood. Like if I had kids, they were going to be named this. So the one for boy is Fred, which literally everyone that I've ever mentioned this name to, I feel like they could have a family member named Fred, they could know someone named Fred. Everyone tells me that Fred is the worst name ever, and it makes me so sad because I genuinely love that name so much. I don't know why, but everyone always says, ew, Fred? No, why would you name your kid Fred? Fred's such like a loser name, or like an old man name. And again, if you're named Fred, I absolutely love the name Fred, so don't be offended, but I feel like every time I told someone that I loved the name Fred, they would be like, absolutely not. So definitely if my fiance liked the name Fred, I feel like I would... Oh, I don't know if I like it more than the boy name that we have picked now, but I feel like also some of that may just be like other people influencing me to like the name Fred less. But I don't know, they're pretty tight. They're pretty neck and neck. But yeah, Fred's the last one for boys. Again, I wouldn't use it just because I wouldn't want to hear how much everyone hates it every single day of my life. And so yeah, that's why I wouldn't use it, but I do love the name Fred. I named my first car Fred. I had a Webkins named Fred. And yeah, I do really like that. And then the last name for girls, again from my childhood names that I really liked, is Alice. I always loved the name Alice. It's not because I was obsessed with Alice in Wonderland, because I really, like, I definitely seen the movie, but I didn't watch it like all that often. But I really liked the name Alice. I thought that it was cute. It was simple. Even back then, I liked simple names. And Alice to me just always felt like such a pretty name. I don't know if I ever mentioned to my fiance that I even liked Alice, but I'm sure I did at some point, but I definitely do like our daughter's name more than Alice, so that's, even if he was like, oh yeah, that's cool, we still wouldn't be using it. So yeah, but that's a name I always loved during childhood. I would always be like, oh yeah, when I'm older and I have my daughter Alice, like, it was never... If you had asked younger me what my first daughter's name would be, it would 100% be Alice. Like, when I was, like, a little kid, my sister and I would always, like, draw out our families and stuff, and it'd be... Alice was always the oldest daughter. And, yeah. I had other names that I liked, but, I mean, now those names I wouldn't even consider using. But Alice is still, like, the only one from... Well, and Fred, but... Alice and Fred are the only ones from my childhood that I would even consider using now, but I just like other names better. But anyways, I think I've rambled about names enough, so I'm going to end the video here because I have to go to work soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and comment down below if you can guess baby girl's name. I don't think anyone will. The only hint I'm going to give is that it's 5 letters. Which I think I already said, but that's the only hint you're gonna get. And yeah, have a good day.